Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to probability ka second part, and this part we will be actually doing questions, and I'll be performing questions over here, and I'll be discussing how we can do something. So now we are going to discuss about classical and theoretical probability. What? Classical theoretical probability we can say, or just the probability. What happens? Probability of event E equals to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Getting my point? In this case what happens, it has to set, in this case this happens, okay? और probability निकालने के लिए you have to satisfy three conditions. क्या? Probability of an event should be greater than equal to 0 or lesser than equal to 1. Getting my point? Probability of sample, it is equal to 1. Probability of, क्या हो गया 1 या 2, और probability of third एक और 3 rules समझ लो. Third one say for any mutually exclusive events, for example if I say mutually exclusive events we are talking about, suppose E1, E2, E3. In this case what happens, their sum of probability, suppose this is going to n time, their sum of probability is equals to 1. Their sum of probability is equals to 1. Getting my point? How? Suppose I say, let me tilt it a little so that I can clearly show you what I exactly mean. Suppose probability of getting 1 when a dice is rolled. Suppose I'm giving an example. When a dice is rolled, what can happen? Probability of getting 1, probability of getting 2, probability of getting 3, probability of getting 4, probability of getting 5, plus probability of getting 6 is equals to 1. Getting my point? इससे ज़्यादा तो कुछ नहीं जाएगा. This thing will happen. अब now what we will do? इतना clear हो गया? समझ में आ रही है बात? There's some mutually exclusive events का sum क्या होगा? 1 होगा. Okay? Getting my point? इस केस में एक होता है क्या? Empirical or we can say experimental probability. In this case what happens, कुछ नहीं है, there is only simple probability of event occurring equals to total number of trials, or we can say probability of trials occurring upon total number of trials. Okay, getting my point? किसमें? experimental probability में क्या होता है? ठीक है, what happens? Number of trials of event upon total number of trials. समझ में आ रही है बात? अभी देखो, एम्पेरिकल कहे, थियोरेटिकल कहे या कुछ भी कहे, बात एक ही है. तो एक ही बात याद रखनी है, क्या? Total number will come on denominator side and number of events occurring will come on the numerator side. This is only there. So let's begin with some questions so that you can also feel confident and I also can feel happy. Okay, fine, my students are able to do it. Probability. Now we have a very first question of our probability, and listen very carefully, pay attention to it so that you can understand. Let's begin with the solution part. So here what is the question says, let me read it out for you all. If 3 coins are tossed, what is the probability of getting one head? First part says, okay. So first of all we will be calculating what? Total number of outcomes. For total number of outcomes, how many? See, 3 coins are set. So for the total number of outcomes equals to 2 to the power 3. Why? Coin has 2 sides, and how many coins are tossed? 3. If coin would have been 1, then 2 to the power 1 would have come. Okay, now 3 coins are tossed. So how many sides does a coin have? 2 sides. And how many times is tossed? 3 times. So what will happen? 2 to the power 3 it will go. 2 to the power 3 is 8. Okay, I hope you got my point. Suppose in this case, if it would have been 2 coins, so what we would have done? 2 to the power 2. Then 4 outcomes would have come. But here we have only how many? 2 to the power 3. 3 we are having. 3 coins are tossed. So how many outcomes will be there? 8. So for 8 outcomes, what will be the outcomes? Let's make some grouping. Yeah, how things will work out. Which are equals to, we can write head, head, head. Okay. Tail, tail, tail. Head, tail, head. See carefully what I am doing. Tail, head, tail. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. 4 are done. Now we have to make it 4 more. Tail, head, head. Head, tail, tail. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Abhi, what is happening? We are not having 8. So we have to make it some more. So we can write tail, tail, head. Did we have written? No. And we can write head, head, tail. Okay. So if you want, this is head, head, tail. Okay, fine. So see how many outcomes are coming? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. How many are coming? 8. All outcomes we have written over here. For making these pairs, always make sure it is not being repeated. Fine. So now these are the total number of outcomes. Now first condition says of getting 1 head. What is that? Getting 1 head. So probability we can write of getting 1 head. So what you can write? Probability of getting 1 head equals to what we can write? Number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Total number of outcomes. Now, total number of outcomes is 8. We already know. Fine. Now we made these pair. This will work now. We want to have only 1 head. So we will be seeing our head pairs. So this is 1 and 1, 2, 3. 3 are there which are getting how many heads? 1 head. You can see here are 3 head, 2, 1 head, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 3 upon 8 is the probability of getting 1 head. I hope you got my point. Next part. And if you want, you can write it here also, these favorable pair. What? Okay, fine. THT. And we have what? HTT and TTH. Okay. Probability of this is equals to this. Okay, I told you this thing. Now move to next part which says having 2 heads. For having 2 heads, space is there. I can think we can write it over here, or I just for second part. Let me rub this first part so that you can understand more clearly. Okay. One part is done. Now we will be doing for second part. How many? 2 heads same. ठीक? 2 heads के लिए how many we will have? We will look over here. 2 heads. 2 heads means two heads we needed. Okay, so here we have 2 heads here. One more head, tail, head, and 1, 2. Only in 2 terms 2 heads are coming. Okay, so these are the number of favorable. Only 2 heads are coming. 1, 2, 3. 3 heads are there. Sorry. So yeah, we got this also. This is what number of favorable outcomes for having 2 heads. So probability. So I'm not going to write of getting 2 heads or something. First question is how I can write 2 heads. Simply over here. Fine. Equals to this number of favorable outcome on total number of outcomes. What's that? 3 upon 8. 1, 2, 3, and total number of outcomes is how many? We have 8. We have already discussed this. So I hope this thing is clear. Now you are getting my point, I hope. Let me have Azan is going on. Let me pause it for some time. Then I'll continue with it. Now proceeding to what? Third part. See, third part says what? At least 2 head means what? At least means what, beta? Here see the number of things will become different. So let me do here, clean it up this and then show it to you how I'm going to do this. For the third part, let me clean it more so that it's visible. Now let's move to part third. See, it says at least 2 tails means minimum 2 tails, and how more than it can be 3. Why? Because we are having only 3 coins. Okay, that's why. If we would have been having 4 coins, then it would have counted the 4th also. At least 2 means come to 2 होने चाहिए. So let's begin with third. At least 2 tails. Fine. So 2 tails के लिए number of favorable outcomes. What it will be? Number of favorable outcomes. कितने होंगे? Check करो. At least 2 tails. So we can have 3 wala also because it says at least. Okay. 1, 2. 2 tails are there. Here also. This also 2 tails. Okay. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now probability we can write here. Probability of getting and this will become too large. So I'll write it in brackets. At least 2 tails of getting, otherwise it would have gone on the very next line. So it's, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 upon 8, it will be 1 upon 2. Getting my point? So this is your answer. I hope this question is being clear to you all. Probability, this was the very first question of our probability. We will be doing some more question based on dice, based on coins, based on cards, and many multiple. So stay tuned. And probability is a deep chapter, so we will be studying it and we will be solving questions on that so that you can understand and do question by yourself. Till then, thank you for watching, and next clip I'll be there solving more questions. Now only the questions of probability will be coming. When the concept will be there, then I'll be uploading that also. First we are working from the root so that you can understand each and every point. Thank you for watching, and if you are liking my clips, thank you so much. My motto is this only, that anyone who is facing problem while doing mathematics in their home and they're not getting the proper assistance or the proper guidance or something, so that's why I'm doing my things. Whatever the knowledge I have, I want to impart that. So I'm working on that. I hope things are working. And if there are any sort of like voice or background noise or something like that, sorry for that. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your support and everything. And Allah Hafiz.